Chapter 10. The New Age. The New Age. I am not inclined to engage in contentious debates or challenge others' beliefs. However, New Age philosophy has become a pervasive yet unaddressed topic in many discussions. Therefore, I feel compelled to explore specific aspects of this concept. Various ancient spiritual practices and technologies have been disparaged by contemporary religious doctrine due to their perceived association with New Age ideology. Nevertheless, it would be prudent to refrain from dismissing these practices outright, as some may have been integral to your religious tradition in the past. Allow me to present some considerations for your contemplation. While New Age philosophy may encompass practices that are not necessarily relevant to your spiritual journey, some predate the very notion of New Age. What then constitutes New Age philosophy? New Age refers to a diverse spiritual movement that emerged in the late 20th century, characterized by a mix of Eastern mystical practices, astrology, alternative healing methods, and a belief in personal transformation, often focused on achieving harmony with oneself and the universe, with practices like yoga, meditation, crystal healing, and tarot readings being prominent elements. It's considered an eclectic mix of beliefs not tied to any single organized religion, emphasizing the idea of a coming new age of peace and enlightenment. The New Age movement combines Eastern mysticism, astrology, and alternative healing. It emphasizes personal transformation and harmony with the universe while anticipating a future era of peace and enlightenment. New Age enthusiasts frequently adopt and incorporate ancient practices from diverse cultures into their spiritual journeys. They are commonly observed utilizing crystals, burning sage, and referencing yoga, meditation, and chakras. Many are drawn to modalities such as Reiki or basic forms of witchcraft. Most New Age adherents are inquisitive individuals seeking novel experiences, often without a comprehensive understanding of the origins of their practices. Let's address some of the things we listen to in these practices. Crystals. Numerous crystals and stones are purported to have various health benefits, including balancing the nervous system, improving blood flow, and protecting against harmful radiation emitted by Wi-Fi networks. Some proponents of crystal healing claim that these stones can be utilized for spiritual purposes, such as enhancing intuition, regulating mood, and offering protection from malevolent entities. Additionally, it is believed that crystals can be programmed to perform specific functions and can be reserved for spiritual energy, such as confidence or passion. Recommended methods for clearing, cleansing, and reprogramming stones include holding the crystal while proclaiming one's intention, such as, "I program this stone for love. I intend to feel love in my heart," envisioning the energy being infused into the crystal. As a result, the crystal begins to vibrate at the frequency of the intention projected onto it. This process enables the crystal to remind the user of their intention even when they are not consciously thinking about it, by reflecting the energy that has been imbued into it. However, it is essential to restore the crystal's energy periodically, as it can become depleted by negativity in the user's energy field. Some individuals may argue that it is unnecessary to use crystals, and instead advocate for seeking love directly from a higher power. However, for those who have struggled to consistently connect with divine love, crystals are often observed to serve as a useful tool. In the past, I have utilized crystals for this purpose, as I was unsure of how to intentionally engage with God's love. Although I experienced moments of divine love, I was unable to sustain this state consistently. It is possible that if someone had taught me how to engage with God's love in a more intentional manner, I may not have seen the need to use crystals. Therefore, I would ask that God use the stone as a reminder of His love whenever I become unconscious in states of negativity. Many people believe crystals to be demonic. I even used to take off running in fear of people who had them, as I was sure a demon would come out of the stone and attack me. This may not have been true, but it's what I had been taught. I don't think crystals are inherently evil. God did create these rocks after all. Not only did God create stones, but they are noted in the Bible, including in the gates of heaven and the breastplate of the priests. Exodus 28:17-21. However, with this in mind, I don't think crystals are necessary today. The source within can renew the mind, which enables emotional regulation naturally. A renewed mind creates favorable circumstances. Those who trust the source are often protected from harm or preserved amid challenges. A renewed mind is usually positive, joyful, and loving, which protects you from unclean spirits or toxic energies. The Bible literally calls your faith or confidence a shield, Ephesians 6:16, so confidence in God is a form of protection. However, stones can be great for physical healing properties. Shungite can clean your water and protect you from radiation. Copper, gold, and silver can boost your immune system. So, for these purposes, I can see stones being more helpful. For all else, I recommend evolving spiritually through the renewal of the mind. Mind mastery is more valuable than relying on objects that don't work without your faith or intention in them anyway. Burning sage and herb sage can actually kill lots of bacteria in the air and balance the ions. Ions in the air have a positive impact on the nervous system and make you feel good. Some individuals believe that sage can eliminate negative spirits from a room. While the accuracy of this claim is uncertain, it is essential to consider several factors. Spirits are typically drawn to a specific atmosphere and resist leaving environments where they feel comfortable. Therefore, using sage may not effectively deter a spirit from returning. It is crucial to understand how to control the atmosphere of your living spaces. Moreover, spirits often thrive in environments characterized by negativity. Consequently, if you consistently dwell on or entertain negative thoughts, you inadvertently create an environment that fosters these energies. It can be challenging to cleanse a home without first cleansing your own energy. The mind facilitates this process. Similarly, individuals who cast out demons in Jesus' name can attest to this phenomenon. Without mental renewal, negative influences inevitably return, emphasizing the importance of empowering teaching and deliverance. As one's focus shifts towards the source of life, sources of negativity become increasingly uncomfortable in one's space. Therefore, cleansing the mind is a more recommended practice than using sage for spiritual purposes. However, utilizing sage for culinary purposes or air purification is a harmless practice in my experience. You may not always have sage at your disposal, so it is likely more beneficial to cultivate a presence that discourages undesirable spirits from approaching you in the first place. Yoga. Yoga is highly debated. It can come in many forms, such as Kemetic, Hindu, and Qigong. With so many forms of yoga, it's hard to say that all yoga means one thing. The word yoga often scares people because it means yoke. Some people jump to conclusions to assume that this means to be yoked in bondage or yoked to whom some consider false gods or even demons. However, the term yoga or yoke often refers to creating unity and harmony among the mind, body, and spirit, with the ultimate goal of achieving oneness with God and creation. When the mind, body, and spirit are in harmony, healing is believed to occur. Various yoga stretches and breathing exercises can be extremely calming and provide relief. Specific yoga practices, such as Qigong, a martial art, can stimulate acupuncture points in the body, promoting healthy blood flow and energy circulation. It is also believed that specific movements can facilitate physical and mental healing. While yoga has its roots in spirituality, it is often practiced in a secular context, allowing individuals to benefit from its principles without engaging with its religious aspects. It is worth noting that performing physical movements alone does not necessarily imply a connection to any deity. Similarly, this would be like suggesting that lifting one's hands does not inherently constitute an act of worship. Although hand-raising is a common practice in church, it does not necessarily imply that God will intimately inspire you whenever you lift your hands. Therefore, specific movements are not always a means of being involuntarily drawn into worshiping something. With this in mind, I would be prudent in engaging in certain practices. I would not participate in chants and singing religious hymns while doing yoga in a temple if I'm not interested in its spiritual aspects. Besides, you may have already performed or been performing some yoga movements, such as stretches like the child's pose or forward fold, which are common in workout videos and physical therapy. You may even utilize prayer hands in church during prayer, which is often regarded as a mudra in yoga, specifically for the heart. A mudra is defined as hand positions that interact with different pathways in the body. Additionally, the lifting of your hands can also be considered a mudra, as well as folding your hands over one another when you are cold. If certain body movements are attributed to religions or even devilish practices, you may already be unwittingly engaging in its malevolence during religious prayer, when trying to stay warm or lifting your hands at church. If it is true that every movement in yoga is owned by yoga and its gods, then many people had better look up every stretch and hand movement that may be in yoga. Yoga positions can be seen as full-body mudras. The purpose of mudras in yoga is influencing the flow of energy in the body to create harmony in the blood flow and the so-called life force that flows through the meridian pathways which connect to your major organs. Through specific movements, it is believed that your body will experience increased vitality, improved circulation, relief from aches, strengthened muscles, corrected posture, and proper breathing techniques. However, some individuals may practice stretches solely to alleviate physical discomfort. It is worth noting that if yoga feels uncomfortable or intimidating, it would be wise to avoid it, as fear can induce distress and attract attention from negative energy forces. This being said, not all forms of yoga, if any at all, may be necessary for you personally in any case. Candle magic and altars. Candle magic is convenient and is often used in witchcraft. However, candles were not only used ritualistically by magicians and witches. Candles and altars were often used amongst the Levitical priests of Israel, Exodus 27:20-21. The candle is a fire element. It is said that as you make your intention, you can use the candle along with other elements on the altar to manifest things. Traditional altars may be no longer necessary. Some believe that the DNA of Christ has amplified humanity's mental manifestation capabilities. Consequently, the mental altar may have been the actual focal point all along. In light of the mind's power, using a physical altar may be unnecessary, regardless of one's beliefs about the atonement of Christ or the obsolete need for animal sacrifices. Some modern witches propose that mastering the mental altar is the new paradigm. Beyond witchcraft, connecting with the source can facilitate effortless abundance, potentially rendering rituals and modalities unnecessary. As reality shifts through the individual and their relationship to source energy. Meditation. I have already extensively covered meditation in the chapter dedicated to the subject. However, I want to note that some individuals practice meditation to project a more spiritually advanced image. Meditation is a discipline that teaches intentional thinking throughout the day and mental stillness in challenging situations. Its purpose is not to make one's identity be perceived as more profound or spiritual. Like prayer, meditation in the form of breathwork can be used to connect to other realms or spirits, but this is because you need to clear your mind to focus on what you're connecting to. Prayer is the same way. It can be used for many reasons and is not inherently evil in any sense. Meditation breathwork doesn't have to be used for anything other than calming one's mind and nervous system. Astrology and tarot. Interestingly, both astrology and tarot cards can be surprisingly accurate. Astrology utilizes an individual's birthday to determine their astrological sign. This complex system has numerous layers, requiring years of study to comprehend and master fully. However, I have never been drawn to it. I have also heard theories that astrology was also employed in Israel, incorporating the 12 tribes instead of Greek and Roman gods. Although I have not delved deeply into the subject, I have never felt the need for an astrologer to enhance my self-awareness or understanding of my past. Furthermore, I am skeptical that anyone can predict my future. In my opinion, I can co-create my future with a higher power, rendering external guidance unnecessary. This perspective also explains my lack of interest in tarot cards. While they can provide accurate insights into an individual's strengths and weaknesses, self-awareness renders them unnecessary. Moreover, I am uncomfortable with the idea of others handling my energy, as I suspect that some individuals may employ entities with which I am unfamiliar or uncomfortable to provide readings. Instead, I prefer to communicate directly with the source. Although I acknowledge that specific individuals possess prophetic abilities, which they use to guide others, I believe it is more empowering to teach others to access the source directly, thereby eliminating the need for intermediaries. Consciousness. We have already broken down the word manifest. Let's break down the word consciousness. Consciousness is a word that a lot of people are afraid of. From the 1630s, it means internal knowledge, derived from conscious plusness. The meaning state of being aware of what passes in one's own mind is from the 1670s, meaning state of being aware of anything is from 1746. As we can see here, consciousness only means being aware. Is there anything wrong with being aware? Not in my opinion. The divine masculine and feminine. The divine masculine and divine feminine represent archetypal energies that exist within all individuals. The divine masculine embodies qualities like strength, logic, and assertiveness, while the divine feminine is associated with nurturing, intuition, and empathy. Balancing these energies is essential for personal growth and harmony, allowing individuals to cultivate a more comprehensive sense of self and deeper understanding of their place in the world. Chakras. Many people are terrified of this word, which only means spinning wheel. Chakra N. 1849 in yoga, sense of spiritual centers of power in the human body, from Sanskrit chakra, circle, wheel, from Pi root quell, one, revolve, move round. These energetic vortex centers in the body are connected to the spine. Chakras are energy centers within the nervous system, influencing intellect, organs, and emotions. When these centers in the nervous system are balanced, energy can flow through them, establishing a harmonious connection between the body and the external environment. Contrary to popular belief, I no longer devote a significant amount of time to balancing chakras. Instead, I have learned to center myself in stillness. Many individuals claim to have achieved balanced chakras by attaining states of tranquility. Therefore, I recommend that you focus on being more intentional about your thoughts and practicing stillness when faced with challenges from your thoughts or life's journey. Additionally, cultivate stillness to be more present in your daily activities, allowing yourself to fully accept and experience peace and joy arising from the stillness in each moment. Reiki is an alternative therapy that originated in Japan. It involves practitioners using their hands to channel energy into a patient's body, promoting healing and balance. The term Reiki comes from the Japanese words Rai, meaning universal, and Ki, meaning life energy. Practitioners believe that by guiding this energy, they can alleviate stress, pain, and other ailments, ultimately enhancing overall well-being. Before the advent of Reiki, various traditional healing practices existed around the world. In Japan, there were several forms of energy healing and spiritual practices, such as Qigong and various methods of hands-on healing. Likewise, different cultures globally had their own approaches to energy healing, including prana in India, qi in China, and the laying on of hands in Christian traditions. These practices share a common goal: to use energy to promote healing and balance. The main difference between Jesus' laying on of hands and Reiki is their backgrounds and beliefs. Jesus' laying on of hands origins comes from Christian tradition in the New Testament. Belief system healing is seen as the source's power working through Jesus. Intent, it evokes divine light for healing, often through prayer and faith. Reiki origins came from Japan in the early 20th century, created by Mikao Usui. Belief system focuses on channeling universal life force energy to help healing and balance. Intent supports the body's natural healing processes and is not tied to any religion. Both methods use hands-on healing techniques, but they have different spiritual backgrounds and types of energy. The distinction between universal life force and invoking divine light for healing lies in their foundational concepts. Universal life force refers to the energy that flows through all living things, known as qi, prana, or ki in different cultures. This belief system is connected to practices such as Reiki and yoga, which view this energy as a natural force that can be harnessed for healing. Practitioners of this approach channel this energy to align and heal the body's energy fields. In contrast, invoking divine light means calling upon a higher divine power or presence for healing. This approach is rooted in religious traditions, which maintain that a higher power can intervene in the healing process. This method typically involves prayer, meditation, or rituals to invite divine presence for healing and guidance. While both approaches aim to promote well-being, the universal life force is considered an inherent energy within all living beings, whereas invoking divine light relies on an external higher power, or the source for support and intervention. Being in touch with life force energy is not the same as being connected to the source. It's similar to consuming the life force found in fruits and vegetables when following a vegan diet for physical healing. In contrast, experiencing a miraculous healing involves intentionally calling in light that aligns with the source's vitality. I personally have never been involved with Reiki, as I am skeptical of others being involved with my energy in that manner. However, I do not see an issue with moving the energy through your body through martial arts such as Qigong, promoting vitality by creating movement. It is a wonder, but I seek to manifest the vitality of the spirit. I do declare that in this moment we are awakening to its residence within our being. Frequency, or vibes. Some people also find the word frequency or vibration off-putting. Let's look at its etymology. From the 1640s, it means fact of occurring often, from Latin frequentia, an assembling in great numbers, a crowding, crowd, multitude, throng, from frequent. The sense in physics, rate of recurrence, especially of a vibration, is from 1831. When behavior occurs frequently, it becomes your established frequency. Notably, physics and cymatics suggest that every living entity vibrates. The chair, bed, or floor you are resting on appears solid, but all matter is predominantly empty space at an atomic level. Matter vibrates due to the constant motion of atoms and molecules. Quantum physics posits that emotions also have vibrational frequencies. In psychology, emotions trigger chemical messages transmitted by neurotransmitters, which create an electrochemical charge radiating within and outside the body. Emotions are frequencies akin to radio dial settings, allowing for tuning. Reality operates on a similar frequency principle, comparable to television channels, enabling tuning one's reality. Positive emotions vibrate at high frequencies, while negative emotions vibrate at lower frequencies. Consequently, individuals functioning unconsciously are perceived as having low vibrational frequencies, whereas those functioning consciously possess higher vibrational frequencies. The significance of this phenomenon is that every frequency possesses a magnetic field, which is the fundamental principle underlying the law of attraction. When your frequency is low, you magnetize experiences that perpetuate this frequency. For instance, if you feel depressed, you may become ill, and the more you focus on your sickness, the more illness you may encounter. This illustrates the law of attraction, also referred to in the Bible as reaping and sowing, Galatians 6:7. Because of this, it is suggested that you maintain your frequencies to manifest the best outcomes in life. This can be achieved by cultivating an inner world that contributes to positivity and tranquility. It is crucial to acknowledge that individuals who pray with a low frequency, namely from a place of uncertainty, may experience limited results. In contrast, those resonating at a higher frequency may receive responses to their prayers. This does not imply that emotional states must be perpetually optimistic, but rather that even amidst emotionally challenging circumstances, one can cultivate a state of inner stillness and spaciousness, thereby avoiding being overwhelmed by emotions. Additionally, the emotions you experience most frequently will attract things that resonate with those emotions. In other words, if you maintain a positive outlook more often than a negative one, you will tend to attract more desirable outcomes than challenging ones. With this understanding, please note that attempting to resist or fight against negative emotions in a desperate bid to maintain positivity in the hopes of manifesting desirable outcomes is ultimately a counterproductive trap. Instead, accept the emotions and situations that arise with a sense of presence, and allow stillness to naturally transmute your emotions and life situations, thereby finding satisfaction in being present in this moment. It took me years before this discovery was revealed to me. Aura. While conversing with a Christian friend, I noticed they expressed apprehension regarding the term aura. I posed questions without offering my perspective, as this approach often encourages critical thinking and prevents individuals from becoming defensive about concepts that may be beyond their current cognitive capacity. By asking provocative questions, I create an environment that allows others to formulate their conclusions and articulate their thoughts. In my experience, an aura refers to the electromagnetic fields surrounding the human body. When an individual's frequencies are high, their electromagnetic field is strong. Conversely, when frequencies are low, the field is weak. This disparity constitutes the difference between a weak and strong aura. A weak aura is more susceptible to illness, spiritual attacks, and emotional deprivation, whereas a strong aura protects against negative energies and attracts beneficial influences. The universe. This word can be very triggering for some. Let's examine the etymology of the word universe. From the 1580s, it means the whole world, the cosmos, the totality of existing things. From Old French universi, from Latin universum, all things, everybody, all people, the whole world. Noun use of neuter of adjective universes, all together, all in one, whole, entire, relating to all. As you can see, the universe is all of creation, all things. I've heard some people say they don't believe in God, they believe in the universe. However, if the universe is the source, wouldn't that make the universe God? If the universe is created and is formed, then how is it the source? Since the source often manifests the tangible from the intangible, questions I ask myself out of confusion. It is more logical for me to assume that the universe was created. However, I do believe that the universe or creation is alive. I believe the universe can work on your behalf, not because the universe is the source directly, but because the universe is connected to the source. Even the Bible speaks of the universe. Instead, it uses the word pause. Pause, phonetic spelling pause, definition, all, every, whole, entire. Romans 8:28, KJV. And we know that all things work for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. So in context, the verse would read like this. And we know that the universe works together for the good of those who love God and those who are called according to his purpose. This would mean that when we are grounded in source, the universe works on our behalf to manifest our good. This is important to understand because this means creation works on your behalf when you align with the source. However, if the word universe triggers you still, you may just say all things or creation. As you may observe by now, many spiritual technologies employed by the New Age movement are deemed unnecessary by me due to my alternative methods of connecting with the source directly. I have also discovered that numerous New Age ideas are essentially modernized adaptations of ancient concepts. I, however, am not telling anyone what way to go or believe. However, I am suggesting that by connecting with the source and harnessing the power of the mind, you may be able to streamline your approach and avoid exhausting yourself with the constant implementation of strenuous systems and routines. Chapter 11.